Hey everyone, today I want to talk to you about Google Ads. Effectively, I want to talk about a cheaper alternative to Google Ads because normally we think Google is the holy grail when it comes to bottom of funnel intent for B2B, and there is no alternative to Google Ads. Well, surprisingly, there is, and ironically, it's another product by Google. But before we get into that, let's talk about Google Ads themselves. Why do we think they're so good, and why are they so commonly used in B2B? Well, simply because Google is considered a high intent channel. When someone comes inbound or searches on Google for your particular category or service, they're considered high intent leads. And if you can show up for those terms, you're likely to convert and all the good stuff, right? Uh, that's at least what it's supposed to be on paper. But there's a lot that happens before Google Ads, before the buyer gets that search, which probably not is not the topic of this conversation. Uh, because Google Ads are so bottom of funnel focused, high intent focused, they come with a cost. And if you're in B2B and if you've ever ran ads, you know how costly they can get. I've personally bid on terms where a single click has cost me over $100, even over $150 in some cases. And the problem is that every click is not always likely to convert. So the cost very quickly ramps up. If so $100, $150 is not so common, but the median cost per click in B2B would be anywhere between 20 to $60, right? And that's on average what we see. Obviously, depending on the words that you're going after, it can quickly ramp up as well. So that's from a cost per click side of things. It's very expensive. Then Google is also very successful because it almost feels like a performance channel where you are paying for the click. So ultimately, you're getting something in return. But uh, the advertising metric that is most commonly used is a CPM, cost per mille, cost to show your ad to 1,000 people, and that on Google is absolutely absurd, just given how it's positioned as a bottom of funnel channel. So the cost in B2B could be anywhere between $300 to $600 for CPM. So to show your ad to 1,000 people, you need to be paying around $300 to $600 for it. Um, Now, if you compare that to some of the other advertising channels like a Meta or a LinkedIn, those costs are between 20 and $50. So you can already see the comparison. Now, there's a problem with that, and uh, that is why Google is positioned as a cost per click channel, a performance channel. Is that when you advertise on Google as a cost for cost per clicks, you don't really get a lot of brand awareness per se, right? Because you're just another blue link in a list of other blue links. You've got 30 characters to sort of grab attention, and that's it. You can't highlight your value prop as well. You can't be very distinctive, right? If, say, you're a HR software company, how are you going to stand out in 30 characters? It's very hard. So it's a very commoditized play over there. Another problem there is there's a lot of wasted spend. So even though the cost per click is so high, there's not a guarantee that your ideal client profile is clicking on it. It could be bots. Well, let's not talk about bots. Let's say it's a competitor. I'm doing some market research, and if I'm doing for a CRM category and you're bidding for the CRM category, well, I'm going to be clicking on your link just to have a look, and that's going to end up costing you a lot of money. And the problem is that I could be clicking on that repeatedly to inform my research, and you're going to be paying the cost for that again and again. So those are all the problems with Google Ads. And so now we keeping those problems in mind, I want to suggest an alternative. And the alternative is actually YouTube. And not just YouTube, there's a specific kind of uh, campaign on YouTube that works, which is called a placement targeting campaign on YouTube. What it is basically the ability to target certain keywords or certain videos, even, or channels, uh, which your audience is consuming, and you can choose to run your ads just on on those placements, right? So why is it good? Well, there are a multitude of reasons for that. Number one, it's cheaper for sure, right? Because on YouTube video ads, what happens is that you only pay once the user has watched a certain percentage of video, so you know that what you're putting out there is getting consumed. The second benefit is that it's a video ad, it's a visual ad, and you can communicate a lot more than you can in those 30 characters. And the biggest reason is that it's still a bottom of funnel channel. Usually YouTube is not considered a bottom of funnel channel, but if you go from placement targeting, well, you're actually going after that same high intent that you are on a Google search ad, right? Um, so for example, let's say I'm in the market, I'm researching CRMs for small business. If I go and type in Google, in YouTube, best CRM softwares, I'm going to get a bunch of videos, and I'm likely going to watch some reviews out of that. So do you think I have the intent to buy at that point? And if your ad, if you're selling a CRM, and if you can show on those videos or on those channels that are talking about that, do you think it's beneficial? Right? You're going to be paying cents for that view, or, or at that intent level. Whereas on a Google search, I think the CRM is going to cost you about $60 for the click. So you can immediately see the difference. And the added benefit is that obviously it's a visual platform. You're communicating a lot more, and you're able to present yourself distinctively, right? So having said that, let's talk about how do you actually set up a placement targeting campaign, right? It's rather simple. It used to be straightforward, but Google has basically taken that option out. Let me make myself slightly smaller here and put myself in a corner. So you want to, once you're in your Google Ads interface, you want to go to create a new campaign, select create a campaign without a goals guidance. Once you do that, you want to select video at the bottom. And then you're going to get a lot of these options, right? You can read through that. The only option where it's not going to work is on drive conversions, but that doesn't really matter because that's a separate video on why that doesn't matter. But you can choose anything else apart from drive conversions. Choose video views here, and you continue. And bear with my slow internet. I use Telstra, guys. I'm sorry. So once you've done that, you can fill all of this stuff out for your targeting criteria. You're going to have to do locations. You can choose to do partner network or not. For this purpose, I'm going to leave it on. So remember in the start where you were given the choice where we selected video views? Well, you were selecting an ad format pretty much. If you select this one, it's going to use multi-ad format, and it's going to place your ad across multiple formats, in feed, bumper, everything, um, wherever your video is eligible, pretty much. But again, not the topic of this video. So this is what you want to focus on, right? You can generally target by keywords, you can generally target by topics, but what I want to focus on is placements, right? When you come down to placements, you can immediately see you've got the option to target YouTube videos, you've got the option to target YouTube channels, and everything else. So we'll just focus on YouTube videos, right? So now if I search in best CRM, what does it give me? Boom. So the top 5 CRM for small business, best CRM for 2024, best 10 best CRM. So you want to be selecting the ones that are relevant to you, right? So you can do this here, or you could do this in YouTube platform itself. You can search, do your research manually, or there is another interesting way if you want to find placements quickly and you want to find all of them, is use a tool like Ads Apps. So Ads Apps is a research tool which helps you find the placements that you can target. Quite simple. You go in, you build a campaign, you give it the keywords that you want. I won't go deep into how it works. You can explore this on your own. There's a free trial. But if you want to cut the research process short, you can go over there and find the placements that you need. But you get the point, right? So you select all the videos that you want, and once you've selected all of them, you just continue with your ad creation and you create the campaign, right? And now you can see, can you see this, like best CRM software of 2016? Maybe you don't want to target that, it's too old. Maybe this one, 7 best sales CRM tools for 2023, top top 10 CRMs, right? Now, anyone who's watching that is interested or in market to buy a CRM software, and they're researching. And this is your opportunity to show up and pitch your product here, right? And the cost is nowhere as close to Google, whereas the function is the same, the intent level is the same. So I hope that's helpful. Now let's talk a little bit about some pros and cons of using this approach. The pros are obviously rather simple: lower cost. You can explain the product better, and you can build mental availability, and distinctiveness in the buyer's head, because you've got visual aid compared to a 30 character search limit. But there's a problem with this approach as well, and that problem was at the very start where we selected the video campaign, is that you can't track conversion inside the ad platform. It's going to be more around video views. The platform is going to report on video views. The platform is going to report um, on clicks and etc. But it's not gonna report on per lead. But that's fine, right? Here is where you can actually go on and make a bit of an effort and track your events in Google. You can still track your events in Google Analytics, right? If you set up those conversions, if you track those conversions, you can link them back to where they're coming from. Make sure you've got UTM codes in your campaign, right? But I don't think that is a big enough thing, or it shouldn't come with the price tag of the Google search ads that it currently does. So with a little inconvenience, you can save at least 20 times the money, because the cost of a view or video view through is in the cents on YouTube, whereas the cost of click, even the cost of click, is nothing compared to what you're going to pay on Google search. So I hope this is interesting. It's a great opportunity for B2B startups and B2B companies that are just looking to get started with advertising and don't have massive budgets. And even you've got big budgets, I would recommend you to split your budget and test this as a channel as well. And let me know if you can improve your cost per lead. And if you want some help with running your ads or your campaigns, feel free to reach out. If you have any comments or feedback on this, let me know, and so that I am encouraged to keep creating content like this. All the best. Cheers.